Welcome back to the Basin Burnout YouTube channel. Whew, been busy. Been working on this pile. I'm trying to get this finished up so at least I can get this thing rollable and out of the garage. I'm gonna go over what I got planned, and we'll see if I can have this thing planned by, I don't know, in a few months. I say a few months because I got a lot of work to do underneath the hood of this car. What you see here is pretty much I'm going to tear out 90% of this stuff. The heater box is going to go. I'm going to put a fan back on this because it has no. You can see it right there. It has an electric fan. This fan, I don't know if you guys can see that. That fan in there is probably from 1987 or something, 85, because that is an old ass electric fan. And the guy that had this car originally, he used this car as like a work truck. He had a trailer here. She pulled a trailer with it. I don't know if he worked out of it or what, but this guy threw the fucking truck stop collection at it. It had every cigarette plug in it, every little doodad you can have. It's got oil coolers built into it, fuel coolers built into it. I mean, it's just any little doodad you can get from the truck stop. This dude bought it for this car. He used this car as a work truck. But I tell you what, though, it runs awesome. So all we need is a portable generator, and it has no back brakes. So I got to either fix the back brakes or just pinch them off, because as long as it goes on the trailer, off the trailer, and goes into the show, that's all I care about. So we got a lot of work to do up here, because in order for this thing to sit for hours and hours and hours and run a battery bank, I'm going to put a new radiator in here. This radiator, you can see it's not the greatest, and I don't know what the guy's done to this setup. A lot of this is rigging, somebody else's rigging from 30 years ago. And I don't know what exactly they did, how they did it. We're just going to take the Sawzall and we're going to start taking stuff off, and we're going to drop brackets and everything. As long as it can turn the key and start the sucker up and turn some alternators, that's all it needs to do. So I almost got the interior done. I've been working on the interior part. I want to get the interior part done first. I want to get, I've got all my subs loaded up. I've got the 2 extra holes blocked off for the, because the enclosure is built for 6. I have 4 right now, so we're going to go 4 until we get the other 2. It's a little bit, I don't want to say it's a little bit big for those subs, because each one's getting a little bit tad over 5 cubic foot per sub, which is probably, I think that's what they recommend for those, but not on an 8K. Each one's getting an 8K, so we'll have to shrink that down a little bit. We put 2 more subs in there, we're shrinking that enclosure anyway, so I think we'll be okay. I got those 2 holes blocked off. I got the stripper pole put in. I got everything braced up, glued down. I'll show you what else I've done in here. I've took the window. This is the piece that goes up in the underneath the windshield for this, the vent. As you can see, it didn't want to come out, but it came out. I'll show you what I want to do up there. Show you what I found, and we'll just go over this. So here we go. This is, let's start back here. So I made this piece just to block off the holes for these 2 subs. This is only temporary. I did not like the idea of screwing into the epoxy on the top here, but you gotta do what you gotta do. I wasn't too worried about it. This is not a show quality build. This is just a, spiff it up a little bit build. This whole wall is going to get Raptor linered, and so is the seat. It's going to get Raptor linered too. I'm going to build roundovers. That's what this spot right here is for the roundovers to attach to this right here. So I'm going to come out as far as I can and do roundovers here. Probably come out to about the edge. That's why I cut these here. Probably going to come out to about right there and shrink that down a little bit on both sides. And I don't know if I'm going to do a roundover. Let me know, what would you guys do? Would you guys do like a one piece that sits in here with like a little port? Or what would you guys do? Because I was thinking about maybe having like a face that attaches in here, and it then that way I can build different size ports depending on what I like. I like the lows, so it might be better if I tune it a little lower than what a lot of people think. Plus with having enough of the power for these, I don't know, we'll see what happens. I put in this brace right here. I really wish I had 2-inch angle iron, but I did not. My screw engagement is not the greatest along this, but I think it'll work. We'll see what happens. The ceiling is done. The stuff on top of the car is what you're hearing, because I'm using it as a workbench. This is put in. This is PL'd down, glued down. Let me get turned around here. Let's see here. Let's turn this. Yes. So this is attached here. This is PL'd to the roof. I was seriously considering a mechanical attachment here to go all the way through. I'm not too worried about the water because this car is going to have a cover on it at all times. I'm not too worried. I'm thinking about just drilling straight through here and putting in some bolts, nuts and bolts, and attaching it all the way through. It is, I mean, it's got a shit ton of PL on it. I watched Bruce attach his brace just like this in little blue, and he never had an issue with it. He PL'd it straight to the front of the windshield like that too, and he didn't have a mechanical, I don't think he had a mechanical attachment. I think it was just PL, but I could be mistaken. I don't know. I'm kind of rather safe than sorry, so I might just drill straight through that, straight to the outside, a couple nuts and bolts and some sealant, and call it a day, because like I said, I'm not too much worried about water. This car's gonna have a cover. It's gonna be covered constantly anyway. The door seals leak enough as it is, so I like to keep as much water out of here as I can. Not talk today. Tore the cow piece off here. I don't know what these are this guy's got in here. I don't know what these are. These are gonna have to come out. But I found a mouse nest up there in the center channel. So that makes mouse nest number 13. Also, I don't know about you guys, and I know I'm old school as hell. I love a center channel. I know with DSPs and stuff like that nowadays, it's almost stupid to run a center channel, but every system I've ever had, I guess I just like a very broad, wide stage in the front, because every one I've ever had, if you add just one speaker, it doesn't matter what it is, just add one in the center, give it just a little bit of power, just so you get a little bit of sound coming out of the center of the windshield, and to me, it sounded a million times better. This isn't going to be a sound quality vehicle at all, so it might just get some speakers up there just for sound, and then the rest would just be bass. I don't know. We still have the doors to play with. I still have my custom speaker pods I have to figure out what I'm going to do with, because I don't have this door panel, lower door panel no more. So I got to try to find another one of those. And then I still have to cover. Everything's got to be covered. We got to do something here. At first I thought about, we'll just put speaker pods on it, call it a day. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll build some wooden door panels. And then I thought, you know what? I'm not worried about it that much. I'll find a panel. We'll mat that. We'll mat this whole floor. We'll give it 2 or 3 layers. Like I said, the point of this car is to just shake itself apart. I'm not building this thing for it to be the ultimate in sound. I'm not building it for it to be, oh my God, what's it do on the meter? I don't care. I want just a plain Jane wind machine beat itself to death. That's all I want. This car is a piece of junk. I don't care what happens to it. But like I said, this is all going to get Raptor linered. And then I will mat the floor. And I think I have the one question I'm not 100% sure about, and I want you guys' opinion. I'm going to Raptor liner this, but I don't care about how it, I'm not body working, and it doesn't matter to me. But I want to get basically a seat cover. So I'll make a base. I know an upholstery guy, and he can make me basically a seat that will sit right here. Would you guys put a seat in here, or would you just go straight wooden bench? There's going to be a lot of asses sliding in and out of this car. And if I can maybe do like a vinyl or leather seat in here where I could just wipe it off, I think that'd be, better than just having the wood here. And maybe just a little bit more comfortable for asses when they're in there. But I don't know. What would you guys do? It's more money, but, whatever. As long as it will just basically be a little bit more comfortable, especially if you're going to be sitting in this car for a while. I don't plan on sitting in every demo. I'm basically going to get out, let you guys experience it, and I'll just be running the system. But I don't know. What would you guys do? The back, haven't touched the back. This would be, once I get the front done, I'm going to pull this car outside, and I'm going to pull my Malibu back in, and I have a brand new windshield right here for the Malibu. So I'm hoping that once I get everything done, I don't want to break this. I'm trying not to get this thing scratched up or anything. I'm trying not to mess this up. I'll probably break it before I get it put on. So anyway, all right, guys. That's the only thing I've been doing. I've been trying to get this stuff done. Just been busy. You guys are having a great weekend. It's back to school. Get my son back to school. Get back into a routine here. And we'll call it a day. Love you guys. See you shortly.